Hey folks, Arcaden here with some tips on how to secure your Nauvis factory before you head off for space. So I have bad memories of the time I forgot to rotate this inserter back so it was working. I was figuring out Gleba, and my whole factory went down. The whole thing. Before you leave Nauvis for the first time, you definitely want to make sure your factory is protected. The goal here is not to build a perfect airtight defensive system. Things are going to go wrong, that's just the game. Instead, the goal is to build a system that when things do go wrong, the factory can either take care of it automatically, or you can manage the situation remotely. How do you do that? Well, let's take a look. Have a defensive perimeter with at least 2 weapon types. Before you leave Nauvis, you gotta take the time to wall off your factory and outposts and set up defensive measures around the perimeter. I make sure almost everything is behind this kind of wall. Because although they're relatively predictable, biters can change up where they attack, and you don't want that to happen in a place where you haven't planned for it. Now, when designing your perimeter, you want to make sure you have at least 2 different types of defensive measures in it. If you rely on lasers and your power goes down, you're defenseless. If you run out of ammo like I did here, then having lasers will save your butt. Make sure you could see everything remotely. Space Age allows you to do a lot from other planets. You could build things, repair things, but you can't do any of that if you can't see. In Space Age, you gain remote visibility from either roboports or radars. Make sure you have enough of these spread out so you could see every part of your main factory and all of your outposts. This visibility will allow you to make changes to layouts or fix a situation remotely, like in this case when I was able to get ammo to an outpost even though I was on another planet. But to do that, you gotta make sure that your construction and logistic bots can reach the whole factory, even the outposts. This will make sure that you could repair items, build items, and deliver important goods. For outposts at the beginning of the game, I find it is always less effort and more effective than I think it's going to be to join them into my main logistics network. But it's also easy just to set up a mini network with a small amount of bots and stockpiles of the items they need so they could restock turrets and repair damage. Which brings us to mass-produce repair packs. Your bots can't repair things if there are no repair packs in your logistics network. Seems obvious, but this is a lesson that I've learned multiple times. Have a steady production of these going into a red passive provider chest. And for unconnected outposts, I usually just drop 100 or 200 into the little mini logistic network. They're cheap to make. Automate your ammo delivery. Turrets run out of ammo, and you need a system to ensure that each turret can get restocked. So first, automate and produce a lot of red ammo. Second, you want to belt feed your turrets. Now, for some reason, I avoided doing it this way for a long time, and that was silly. I look back at that person, and I wonder, why? And then you want to supply those belts in one of 2 ways. It could either be one long belt leading directly from your automated ammo production, or you could use a requester chest and have bots deliver ammo to key places. And again, for those mini outposts, I just drop a ton of ammo in a chest. It gets me to mid-game, and then research all the weapon techs that you can. The weapon damage, shooting speed, techs, they really add up, so don't sleep on them. That's it, that's the tip. Use at least 2 methods of power generation. So you want a main power source and then something to take over in case, when that main power source goes down. You can make a lot of things work here. This is a sandbox game, but I think nuclear is worth setting up as your main power source before you first leave the planet. Then use either coal or solar for your contingency. The purpose of your contingency is not to power your entire base, but to power vital machines that can get your main power up and running and keep your defenses secure. As a small example of this here, I have a few solar panels that can be used to keep production of nuclear fuel cells alive. When the main power went down, using the wire tool remotely, I just isolated this little area so that the panels are only powering these machines, and that helped me get my nuclear power kick-started again. You could do this on a bigger scale, and you could automate it with the circuit network. And finally, remember, you can fix it. This game can get overwhelming, frustrating, but truth be told, there are very few hard locks in Factorio. At worst, fixing your situation will just take time. So, take a deep breath, and get to work. Or you could do what I did and lose your mind, and even though you're 100 hours in and getting relatively close to the end of the game, say, "Oh, to hell with it, I'll just start over, it'll be better anyway." Both valid options. I hope this video helps ensure that your Nauvis factory doesn't become a snack for biters while you're off exploring a new planet. This is what works for me, but the beauty of Factorio is there's always another way to do it, there's always something to learn, so please drop your tips into the comments below, I'd love to read them. And if you liked this video, please do like, comment, subscribe, it's a big help to let me know to keep going. Thanks for watching.